Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Booster John. This is my Turbo LS Civic, I guess. Not like Chevy LS, but like Acura Integra LS. Anyway, as many of you guys know, this car used to have a fully built LS VTEC. So that's a B18B bottom end with a VTEC head. Fully built, like I said, turbo, making 380 wheel horsepower. Now you might be thinking to yourself, that doesn't sound like a lot of horsepower for such a dope motor, but it turns out it was, because it blew up. And now this car has just a $500 Integra LS engine. There it is. Well, with this LS turbo engine build making very similar horsepower, I'm just guessing, but based on how it feels like it's only slightly less horsepower than the Build LS VTEC engine. I think it would be really fun to make a video comparing the costs on the two to see just how fast you can go for as little money as possible. So that's basically what I've been doing with this motor. Bless you. Oh, that looks really good actually. Ooh, little lox bagel. I haven't had this in a long time, but I'm a big fan actually. On a little 6 cheese corn dog.
I know, that was smart.
Let's see what happens. Damn, that's good. I want to recap just how much I spent on the build, like previously, like on the LS VTEC setup. I want to tell you guys exactly how much I spent. I'm going to basically summarize the old video very briefly. So for everything that I spent on the LS VTEC engine, the built motor, the bottom end was roughly $3,000 and the head was somewhere in like the $1,500 to $1,600 range. The exact total number that I have here for everything long block wise before is $5,423. The total amount that I spent like with the car, engine, turbo kit, all sporting mods, $14,261. $5,423 of that was just the long block. Well, I guess including the intake manifold. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go home, we're gonna figure out a base price for everything, not including engine setups and stuff like that, of money that you would need to put into a car to be able to support a turbo setup with a B series engine. And then we're basically just gonna subtract the motor costs and figure out like what the cheapest that you could go this fast is. I'm really excited to see how much I could have saved, I guess. All right, I'll see you guys at home. All right, welcome home. On screen, I have a list of all the expenses. All of this stuff right here that you're looking at is itemized stuff. It was just to help me figure out these numbers up here. So these numbers are really the ones that matter. We're gonna break these down from a fundamental standpoint. So again, if you guys wanna see like an itemized breakdown of everything that's on this car, check out my old video doing the cost breakdown of the LS VTEC engine. And then also this video will give you the information on the new motor setup or like the cheap budget engine setup. So with that said, all this stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and just get off of this page so we don't have to look at it. Except you know what? We will need this because this is the cheap engine stuff. I said here. There we go. All right, so as I said, the cost of the old build, everything, car, engine, turbo kit, literally everything included was this number right here, $14,261. The cost of the fully built VTEC engine is this right here, $5,423. So therefore, if we took the cost of everything in my setup and just subtracted everything from the motor, it would cost $8,838 to have literally everything on my setup minus the built VTEC engine. Now this video is titled, how fast can you go on a budget or something like that. How fast can you go for how cheap, right? So a lot of the upgrades I did were unnecessary, but again, upgrades to make the car more drivable and better at this power level. So that includes things like upgraded brake pads, upgraded brake lines, hoses, coilovers, like all that good stuff that makes a car more drivable and handle better. That's this number right here, $2,063. We can subtract this from the total cost of this budget build because you technically wouldn't have to do it. Like if you just wanted to go fast on a budget in a Civic, you would really only have to spend this amount of money. Now this amount of money right here, $6,775, is again, the car, the wheels and tires it came with, the suspension it came with. Now most Civics that you're gonna be buying right now are already somewhat modified anyway. So like my car came with some cheap coilovers, some cheap wheels and tires. Like this includes the turbo kit, you know, this includes everything except the motor and except for suspension upgrades and like brake upgrades and stuff. So realistically, like you could get away with spending this much without a motor, $6,775. Now here's where you gotta make a decision. And this is why this video is important. Do you wanna go the route of spending $5,423 on a motor? Or do you wanna go the route of spending this much money on a motor? We're gonna add this up right now and see just how much I spent on this new budget motor and then add it to this cost, and that should pretty much be everything that you would need to spend to have my current setup minus the suspension upgrades. 1.8 liter B18 Non VTEC engine that I purchased from a subscriber for 500 bucks. Valve cover gasket, I've had to purchase like 3 or 4 of them because I keep messing things up, but realistically you should only need to buy one. I bought an AutoZone one for $30. I would recommend getting an OEM one, that way you can reuse it. Anyway, 30 bucks for a valve cover gasket if you really want to go cheap about it. I highly recommend the BKR7E. This is like the 7 heat range of NGK spark plugs. I think they're 2 steps colder. So if you're gonna be running a lot of boost, it's a good idea to have colder plugs. Those were $16. My timing belt snapped, that was $70. Obviously, if you're buying a complete lung block, like a complete B18B, it should already have a timing belt, but I'm only including this in the cost because it's something that would be a good idea to change regardless. Like it's probably just something that's a good idea to replace right when you get the engine, so you don't end up with a situation like me where I'm stranded on the side of the highway with a broken timing belt. Also, there are gonna be a lot of like little miscellaneous costs that I'm not gonna factor in here, but this will kind of just add to that like miscellaneous cost, something that could cost you money. And then I'm gonna say fluids are about 100 bucks, give or take. All right, now here's one thing that I'm gonna factor in that you guys might not consider to be fair, but I consider it necessary. If you really wanna get the most out of a budget engine setup like this, you need a limited slip differential. Yes, this car would be quick without it, but when I installed my limited slip diff, it makes it really hard for me to tell the difference in speed between this and my fully built LS VTEC setup. With that said, a limited slip diff has made probably the biggest difference out of any modification I've ever done to this car, aside from like the turbo kit obviously, but like it is the most noticeable difference in terms of driving performance. So I am 100% including the cost of a limited slip diff in here. Wave track LSD, and that's about $800. Now that seems outrageous, right? Because the cost of the motor is literally less than the limited slip diff, but I'm telling you right now, it is worth every penny. You need a limited slip diff if you want to go fast. Lastly, I can't remember if I already factored in the cost of the clutch or not in these numbers up here. But regardless, with all the little miscellaneous things, I'm just gonna include the cost of the clutch. You don't really need a lightweight flywheel, so we'll just say a clutch. And I would say like a good clutch kit for this power level would be somewhere around 300 bucks, give or take. Could be more expensive, could be pretty much 300 bucks. So with that said, let's add up the total here. 500 plus 30, 530 plus 70, that's 600, 700, that's 1,000, that's 1,800. So $1,816. This is the cost of everything that I would say you need in an engine at this price point to be competitive and go fast. We're gonna add that number to this number and see what we get. Cost of budget setup, $6,775 plus $1,816. You're looking at $8,591. So for $8,591, you can run probably, I haven't gone to the drag strip yet, so if you guys want to see just how fast you can go for this amount of money, you're gonna have to watch next week's video. I was trying to get to the drag strip earlier so that I could get it for this week's upload, but it rained and I got there and it was closed. Based on how both setups have felt, I'm gonna guess that at the drag strip, I'm gonna go just as fast, if not faster, than the fully built LS VTEC setup for $8,591. Let's do a little bit of math here and subtract this total amount from this amount and see just how much money I could have saved by just going this route in the first place. 8,591 minus 14,261, 5670. So I could have saved $5,500 and had a car that performs just as well if I just didn't build an LS VTEC engine. $5,670. You could literally buy like 2 Miatas with that money. Well, at least a couple years ago. I don't know about now, but that's what I'm saying, guys. That's the point of this whole video, is to show you guys that you don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to go crazy. You don't need VTEC. VTEC just seems to be like a clout thing. Yes, it's gonna perform better. Don't get me wrong. Yes, it's gonna be faster. It's gonna have more potential. But dude, you can go straight up 12.5 or faster in the quarter mile for $8,591. There is no car on the market that you can buy stock for this amount of money, $8,591, that will perform anywhere near as well as this Turbo Civic. So is it worth it to fully build a VTEC engine? If you do it right with the right sporting mods and you're going for big power, yes, totally worth it. If you're building a fully built LS VTEC engine to just make like, I don't know, somewhere around 400 horsepower, probably not worth it. The cost of performance is not there. If you're gonna spend this kind of money, you might as well be going for big power, somewhere in like the 600 horsepower range. That's my opinion. I know I'm gonna probably stir up a lot of comments. Feel free to leave them below. Let's use this video as a learning opportunity. Obviously, everyone is entitled to their own opinions and experiences, so please share them down below. I love learning from you guys. I'm sure that you guys love learning from you guys. So let's all help each other to come to a conclusion on this topic. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Seriously, please, it really helps the video. If the video does better, more people see it, the more people subscribe, the sooner I can stop working at 9 to 5 and I can start doing YouTube full time. So thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one where we take the Civic to the drag strip. And I also have a very exciting announcement coming soon. Not yet. Very soon though. As I say, boys, let's remember to plan, commit, execute, and attain our goals, and do it financially responsibly. Bye.